I'm here with CEO Ben Fransen from ExpreS2ion Biotech in our series where we try and take a look back at 24, I guess quite an eventful year, finishing on a high note by you advancing your breast cancer candidate, but also a tough year, I guess, because you needed to implement a new strategy where you really focused on fewer products with less time frame and less costly way, as it is in biotech right now in the financing situation. So, but let's start out by the question, how has this strategy planned out for you, and maybe talk a little bit about the most important milestones that you achieved this year?
Well, definitely the therapeutic breast cancer vaccine asset that we call ExpreS2ion is very important in this aspect. We started focusing on this to get this into the first clinical trial, and we actually were able to conclude on the regulatory submission package, which includes a manufacturing part and a non-clinical part, and all that was submitted to the Austrian authorities in August, which was ahead of our schedule actually, so that's very good. We have also progressed on other pipeline activities with our CMV vaccine project and other exploratory projects where we are moving towards the animal proof of concept stage that we want to. And then we have a lot of grant-sponsored projects, all sponsored by non-diluting funding, including in influenza and Nipah virus and malaria. And malaria was highly interesting this year because we got a term sheet with the Serum Institute of India. They take an interest in two of the projects that are in clinical phase 1 and 2. And all of this is being, we apply our phase 3 validated technology platform, that what we call ExpreS. So that's obviously a great achievement.
Yeah, I guess that was some of what you maybe have won on the malaria. I guess it is a very important part to get some kind, in an early stage biotech, to get this seal of approval from a very large manufacturer. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I mean, we're getting several seals of validation here, yeah, with the phase 3 validation, with the world's largest vaccine manufacturer taking an interest in what we do based on our platform. So that's great.
And I guess let's jump back to the breast cancer vaccine. There's no hiding that this is the most valuable part of your pipeline, and of course therefore investors are very interested in the progress in that. Can you talk a little bit about this approval you received, talk a little bit about the study, and maybe a little bit on what could we expect from data from that study?
Sure. Well, first in terms of timeline, we submitted the package, the CTA here in August, and we said then that we would start the trial in Q1 2025. That's still the case, and I think I can even confidently say that we'll probably do it earlier in Q1 than later in Q1. So that we're progressing well. We are also, of course, with the approval in place this first week of December. There's some logistical things, getting the clinical supply to the study site, educating the staff, and getting the first patients enrolled. That takes a little time. So all this we're doing now here at the end of the year, and basically it runs as planned.
So will we get any kind of efficacy data? That's always what we investors look at. I know you need to focus on safety and dose regime here in phase 1, but could we get some kind of indication of the efficacy of the product?
I understand the question. I of course also stress that this is a phase 1 safety trial. Yeah. And it's actually going to investigate safety, tolerability, and maximum tolerated dose of administering our breast cancer vaccine asset ExpreS2ion in metastatic breast cancer patients. And it's a so-called 3+3 adaptive clinical design where we can enroll in a dose escalation step where we test different doses, up to 9 patients, and in a dose expansion part, additional up to 27 patients. So that's the scope of the study. Beginning of 2026 we should get the outcome, but of course during that period we're going to get some safety data as well that we will obviously will announce.
Will publish, yeah.
And just to about efficacy, there are some secondary endpoints measuring immunogenicity and also some exploratory objectives of looking at anti-tumor activity. Yeah. We're just as excited as you to see what those will be, but it's not the primary objective of this phase 1 trial.
And you jumped already into it. 25, you're a biotech company. It's very important for investors to know if there's any milestones they should look out for. That is often the primary driver of the share price. So anything, no guidance, but and no promises, but some potential milestones to look out for in 25.
I think I already alluded to it. Definitely on the breast cancer vaccine project, we're going to get some safety data during 2025, which we'll announce obviously, and also getting the key outcome in 2026, just to be clear on that. Yes. On other pipeline activities, we are expecting animal proof of concept data on some exploratory projects and the CMV vaccine project, and then obviously closing the licensing agreement with Serum Institute of India on the malaria projects. Those are the key milestones here in the short run.
Thank you, Bent.
Thank you.